Hello and welcome back to another video to react to last night's 2-1 win over Sheffield Wednesday. Two of my end goals, either side of a Callum Patterson equaliser at the time. So us run out 2-1 winners. I thought it was a quite scrappy game. I thought main parts we did control it a little bit, especially towards the end of the second half. Let's see, go through the positives. I thought Danny was fantastic in the middle of the park. I think he controlled things. He was calm and collected when he was coming out with the ball from defence. Obviously had that brain fart moment for their goal, but overall I thought his performance was excellent. Luke 9, I thought he was very, very good last night at centre-half. Congratulations on his 300th appearance for Sunderland. And see, when he signed in 2018, I imagine you wouldn't think he'd make 300 appearances after his first one went, but he's developed and he's learned over the years under different managers, different coaches, and he's turned himself from a box-to-box midfielder, attacking midfielder, to a top-end championship centre-half. If you asked anyone in the league, they'd want him, and he played really well last night. He says he loves a little crossfield ping, doesn't he? He was very, very good. And obviously, the goal scorer, my ender, came in last night. I thought he should have started anyway, regardless if he thought had a little bit of a knock, which is what I'm led to believe he has. Whatever. He obviously came on last night and he took his chance really, really well. People can argue with a handball all they want. His arms by his side. He's got to take another touch to get him through on goals. It's not like he's handled it into the path. The way Sky were going on last night was if it was Thierry Henry against Republic of Ireland, where he's literally caught the ball, chucked it into his path and he scored. He hasn't. The actual hand has made his first touch even more difficult to get the ball out of his feet to score. And I know when we're living in a day and age where the rule book is literally green, purple and blue and it's not black and white and anything can get disallowed for anything. But if you're disallowing that, it's ridiculous. Did we get away with the heel the one at the beginning? Maybe we did, but again, his arms literally behind Chris Meffam's head, and I'm not sure if you looked at it, does Meffam touch it? Does that have an effect on him? More on Hilda later on, but I thought my ender was brilliant last night. He took his second goal really, really well. Excellent crossing from Trey Human. It's an absolute bullet header. If you look at the chance Isidore missed against Hull, it's a similar position. Obviously, the cross has got a bit more power, and so he's got to do more. It's a more difficult chance. But he took it away, and he played really, really well last night. My ender was always a thorn Sheffield Wednesday side. It was a good use of squad rotation last night. Regis brought in Meffam for Ballard, which was expected. Brought in Hielda for Serkin, brought in Alan Brown for Chris Rigg, he brought in Romain Mundle for Enzo Lefebvre, and he brought in Magenda for Isidore, so it was a good use of squad rotation. It freshened up the side. Even though I thought Alan Brown was a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for, non-existent last night, but I think the ball was going, it wasn't going through him as you would expect, number 10 to. It was like going either side, but I thought it was a very, very good use of squad rotation, and hopefully that'll play in a bigger part for next weekend when we play Cardiff. But lads will be fresher, ready to go. If any knocks, they're gone. So you should do that as a manager. You should freshen up your team every now and again instead of playing your full 11 constantly. I know I've had injuries in that, but it's always nice to have a little bit of squad rotation in place just to make sure that you lads who are playing week in, week out don't get too many injuries. Speaking of, it was nice to see Romain Mundle get a good 70-75 minutes last night. If not more. I can't remember what time he went off, but I'm more sure it was past the 70th minute. Thought he did okay. He was unlucky not to score. It was a brilliant save from James Beale from that free kick. The save, when he hit it, I thought was in, was a fantastic hand to not just to save it, but to palm it out and not have anyone just go in there and tap it in. But I thought he was a nuisance. Looked like he was a bit of a nuisance. He was always looking to cut inside. Looked a lot more fresher. He looked more ready than he did against Hull to play. And I thought he did quite well. And I think before long, you'll see the goals coming from Mundle because he was unlucky not to score last night. There were negatives. The goal conceded, it was pathetic. Like from about 4 different players, Meffam losing the ball, and the right hand side, Trey Hume not in the position, which I suppose you can forgive that little bit because Meffam's meant to be passing it to Trey Hume and Trey Hume's further forward. They're not recovering the cross because literally a dink from the 18-yard line into the edge of the 6-yard box. Dan Neil switching off and ball watching, and Anthony Patterson coming out. I'm not blaming Patterson for the goal. He's not. He did okay last night. He did what he had to do, but he didn't make any glaring errors. He's just come for walkabouts and he's missed the ball and Callum Patterson's headed. But Patterson's got to come for it. He has to come for it. It's there. If there's no one else in the box, he's got to try and come for it. And he's missed it. And then obviously Patterson scores. And on that, Sheffield Wednesday really got on top. It's like we started to back off a hell of a lot more, which I didn't really like, didn't really particularly want. At stages, I felt like it's from that moment till about when we scored, we didn't really get out of second gear in the second half, which is a little bit of a negative for me, because if you do that against a side who's pushing the playoffs, or if you do that in the playoffs, if we get the playoffs, you'll get punished, and we cannot afford to do that type of stuff in the position we're in. But yeah, I thought we battled off far too much. We let them dictate too many things. Valentin on the right hand side absolutely murdered Hjelde all night. I thought he was always on, and Hjelde got nowhere near him. That's another negative got Hjelde. Yeah, he got the assist for my ender's goal, but I personally thought Hjelde was shocking last night. I really thought he did. Can't remember him stopping across. I can't remember him making a tackle in an important position. It felt like every time the winger got the ball, he drove past them all the time. And I just thought he was a massive waste of time last night. I'd rather have played Ollie Bainbridge, and apparently Ollie Bainbridge is not very good from people who you've seen him play for Kilmarnock. But I wasn't a fan of Hjelde last night. But we got the win. He's one player out of 11. I'm not going to sit there and criticise him. Some people thought he had a good game. Some people don't. It's about football. It's opinions. Everybody has them. But in my opinion, I don't think he was very good last night. And I don't think he's a very good footballer. I don't rate him at all. Me man of the match, I know even though my ender will take all the plaudits for his match-winning double, I thought Dan Neil was superb last night. He's an absolute Rolls Royce of a footballer. Minus the brain fart moment, obviously. But I thought he dictated everything last night. He was really, really good last night, Dan Neil. His passing was very, very good. I think there was one particular point in the first half, he picked the ball on the edge of the box and he's gone through three of them and we've played out. He was excellent last night, Dan Neil. Proper captain's performance is what you want from the leader. And from the early stages of the season, I've been always one of his biggest defenders, Dan Neil. He was getting a lot of criticism from people saying he's not very good, he's not doing this, he's not doing this, he's not doing this. His red card against Burnley, people were saying, why is he doing that for? And he was suspended, then we won, then we said, do we really need Dan Neil? I said in the summer, and I'll stick by it, Dan Neil was a harder player to replace than Jack Clarke. Because he is that good. That kid will play in the Premier League one day and he'll play for a top-end Premier League club. Bookmark that for whatever you want to do. If when he ends up playing for like League 2 Cheltenham or something like that, do it. But yeah, he was excellent last night, Dan Neil. I really, really like Dan Neil. But hopefully we can go on to Cardiff next week with renewed figure, because we won the game, get ourselves back on the winning ways. At the present moment in time, I think Sheffield United are winning. Just going into the second half, they're winning 1-0. So we've got to keep pushing. Just hope eventually they will slip up, or Burnley slip up. They got beaten a couple of days 2-0. So that's their first goal conceded against a championship side in God knows how long. A little bit of stuff fell on us today. I think it's been on socials as well. Last season, for how far we've come on from last season, our centre forwards last season still looked Hamir, Burstow, Rusin, Mayenda. There might be one more in there. We contributed 5 goals last season. And we've got Wilson and we've got Mayenda who contributed to 24 goals. And I don't know if that's down to coaching or just adequate centre forward play where you've got 2 players who can play. But that's an outstanding turnaround from where we were last season. Considering our Achilles heel last season was not having a centre forward. I'll come out with a Cardiff preview some point around Wednesday or Thursday. Then we go into the Cardiff game. Then you'll see us again Sunday after that. If you like the video, please leave a like, subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I certainly will. My girls' team won this morning again, so I'm buzzing about that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. How are the lads?